Back on the show now is Miles Banks, who has a big fight. It's actually his pro debut, February the 5th at Fury FC 74, when he meets Andres Cisneros. Miles, how you doing?
I'm doing well, man. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. The last time that I talked to you, man, you've done some big things since. You went and you captured the heavyweight title for Fury as an amateur. Life must be treating you pretty good right now, I have to imagine.
Yeah, man. Life's always treating me good. As long as I'm here, I got opportunity to keep going and prospering and growing. So, um, yeah, I mean, especially last year was God gave me a lot, gave me opportunity to accomplish a lot, and I'm happy I was able to do that.
Yeah, and we talked before. I know that you've been excited to make this jump to the pro ranks. Did you know after you won the heavyweight title for Fury, this was in October, did you know right then and there that okay, this was my last fight, I'm going to go pro next?
I had a pretty good idea. I don't ever really think too far ahead of I try, I say I try not to think too far ahead of like, what the test that's right in front of me. Um, but I kind of figured that after that, at that point, there'd be nothing left for me to do at the amateur, as far as amateurs go. So yeah, I was pretty open. I was pretty open to it. I'm excited I get to make my pro debut.
Assess your performance. It was a round one TKO win over Robert Oliveras. Anything you can kind of point towards maybe you could improve, or is it pretty flawless performance there?
Nah, man, it's never as flawless as it seems to me. I'll watch these things, and it could be a 1 minute performance. I'll watch it over 100 times. Um, there's definitely a lot I need to work on. Still to this day, I do think that he kind of penetrated my defense a little too easily um, to start the fight, but I don't know. There's definitely some things I need to work on. I kind of just sometimes I'll get into a brawl, people that want to brawl, just because I kind of don't mind it, and I really need to get away from that because it makes those fights that's not as even. It makes it a lot more even when I get into those brawling kind of situations, and I've really been trying to stay away from that, but I do love it sometimes.
How did you celebrate the win? Obviously, winning a title for Fury, whether it's amateur or pro, man, I mean, that's a big deal. That's one of the better promotions, regionally here in the country. So how did you celebrate that win?
I keep it honest with you. I think I just got like a fajita plate, some tacos, stuff like that. Ate that and went home. I'm not too big on like partying, man. Like pretty much all I think about is this and just like my future and what I'm trying to do and what I want to set up. Is this the life that I want to have? Um, I was just ready to get back into the gym. Really, I was feeling healthy. I didn't take any damage. I retained my title. I was just got back into the gym pretty much right after that. That's all I was thinking about. So next day.
Okay, very good. Now, training full time now, or do you have a job you're doing on the side?
No, I still work. It's my work stuff right here. I work from home, luckily. So another one of those things I'm blessed with, the opportunity, as far as working while training goes and training a lot. It's tough, man. It's hard. It's energy consuming. It's so hard, man. And then I recently started a new job as well too, like right when this camp started. So my work hours have completely flipped on their head. My training schedule was totally different. I'm working with kind of different partners at the time too. They're working with different partners too as well. And I'm not able to work with like some of my favorite partners and as often as I would like. But and it is what it is. It keeps me hungry. It keeps me motivated to get out of this situation. But I'm not complaining. I'm not doing too hard. I'm not a starving, struggling fighter, man. It allows me it's a bit of an advantage. I don't have to just focus on the next fight kind of so I can focus on developing and getting better in between fights. So I'm not just fighting for money. I have a much bigger goal than just fighting for money. So
You hear a lot of fighters, like I'll use Conor McGregor as an example. He talks about visualization and kind of manifesting your destiny, your future. Do you ever think like that as far as, because it seems like, you got a lot of big goals here around the corner. Do you ever think about that as, what you want to accomplish in 2023 and so on?
yeah, 100%. Last year might have been the first year that I actually like wrote down my goals on paper for the year, and I was able to smash every single one of those goals. And that was thanks to my coaching staff. They made us do that. Adam and Jeremy, they're like, yeah, write your stuff down. And I took a picture of it, and I had it. I wrote down I was going to have 3-4 fights. I did that. I wrote down I was going to become the Fury amateur heavyweight champion. I did that as well too. I wrote down I would become a better grappler. I did that. And then X, Y, Z, and everything that came with that. I definitely 100% believe in visualization. I do think that you have to be ready for these things. before they come, you know. So I'm always visualizing the fight, all possible outcomes. I'm always visualizing, I mean, as much as I possibly could. If I go to a UFC event, I imagine myself taking that walk, soaking up the atmosphere, not just as a spectator, but more so like as if I was really about to perform in these things. Everything is a size up. I don't have any I don't admire anybody anymore. Everybody's an adversary, so to speak, you know, and respectfully. Um, but I'm always just I am thinking ahead because this thing has been happening so fast, and I know it's coming fast. It's constant, it's nonstop, it's always happening. The next fight, the notoriety goes up. People kind of know who I am, and I'm just trying to keep it going, keep my momentum going. So I feel like as long as that's happening, it's going to be a short path to where I'm headed to.
Yeah, I can't wait to see. Well, obviously this pro debut next, and then what the future is going to hold for you. You mentioned the UFC, so I wanted to get a couple of fight picks from you. UFC 283 is this weekend. Two title fights: the light heavyweight title fight, Glover Teixeira and Jamal Hill, and then obviously the flyweight bout between Brandon Moreno and Davison Figueiredo. Who do you see winning both of those fights, and how do they get it done?
Man, Brandon and Figueredo, that's gonna be a crazy fight. I love watching those two fight. I'm a big Brandon Moreno fan though, so I'm definitely going to go with him. Definitely going with Brandon. I'm definitely going with Jamal Hill too. I think he's super talented. Um, in a sense, kind of underrated. You know, everybody knows who Glover is. Everybody respects Glover as well too. But I think that Jamal Hill is, man, it's his. I think it's his time as far as that goes. And I would like to see him hold on to that till he can fight Yuri. I think that'd be a really good fight right there between those two. That'd be crazy. So
That would be, I mean, talk about a stylistic, fun fight. I'd have to imagine it would stay on the feet. And with this fight with Glover, with how good he is in jiu-jitsu, do you feel like Glover's just going to be trying to get him down on the ground, or do you feel like we could see some stand up?
man, I think that if he can, I think if he can get the fight to the ground, he'll definitely get it there. But Glover's like, man, the dude's a veteran, like very few others, man. So I mean, I think he's comfortable wherever it'll stay at. I think if he does strike with them, he has enough experience and knowledge to make it a kind of striking match that he would like. But if it stays on the feet, I'm pretty confident Jamal Hill's going to win that fight. I think his best bet would be to get the takedown, try to and do his stuff on the ground because he's nasty once he's fully mounted somebody. This is disgusting. I wouldn't want it.
John Jones is back in action around the corner too against Cyril Gahn. How do you see that fight playing out?
I'm always riding with the GOAT, man. I need him to stay active and undefeated. So hopefully I can get there one day and take him out. I want to pass the torch to me. I don't want nobody else to do it. So I'm always riding with Johnny Bones for real. But I do love Cyril Gahn, man. Since he's been on the scene, since I watched him fight, um, the dude's really good, man. He's better than a lot of heavyweights. It's like a breath of fresh air, honestly. Like, you know, to watch these big guys lumber around, throwing heavy shots until somebody goes to sleep. It's nice. It's like masterful. It's technical. It's skillful. It looks good.
You know, seeing John Jones too, how much weight he's put on. He looks like a different person. What do you walk around at? Are you cutting to 265 now? Like, because I have to imagine just with your height that, you know, you might be one of the bigger heavyweights, you know, that when you do make it to the UFC one day.
No, I actually don't. I don't get too heavy, man. When I started fighting, man, when I started like training and everything, I was like 295. But I had a lot of muscle on me, a lot more muscle than I'm actually comfortable with, and it takes a lot of oxygen and cardio to move all that muscle. So when I started and I put the gi on, I lost about 30 pounds. Um, right now I walk around at about 270, 275, maybe when I'm in camp. I don't eat that much. So my training is usually outpacing my eating and everything like that. So I'll come down a little bit, but you see, I'll usually fight it between 250 and 260. And that's the way that it's always been. I don't focus too much on the weight. I definitely don't have to cut it. So I definitely don't have to pay too much attention. I don't step on the scale every day, maybe like once a couple times a week if I just want to know where I'm at. It's more so just how I feel. As long as I feel agile and I feel athletic, I feel like I can breathe really well. I can move really well and lose some. You know, that's really all that matters to me. Size is cool, but I've fought dudes that they come in weighing 265 on the weigh-in day and they show the next day for sure 20, 30 pounds heavier, and I'm walking in what I'm fighting at. So I mean,
That's perfect. I mean, that's the way to do it right there. And one other question just about the weight situation here, because I was interviewing another heavyweight recently, and for a lot of times, you know, he was thinking like he was too big to be a light heavyweight 205, but he wasn't necessarily big enough to fight with some of these guys that are, you know, cutting to make the limit at 265. Shouldn't it make sense at some point soon for a lot of these bigger promotions to implement a 225-pound weight class to break it up a little bit, so there isn't such a drastic difference between heavyweights, being 265 or 206.
That's actually not a bad idea at all, man, because I do see that middle ground right there, right? People like I couldn't make 205, right? And if a person was like 240, maybe making 205 might be kind of hard for him as well too, if they're in a decent shape. But then 240, if you're 240 and you're a little bit, chunky or whatever case would be like that, fighting somebody that's coming in 265, they probably weigh like 280.
Mm.
It's a big disadvantage as well too. So I can definitely see that, adding that little extra division in there, but I don't know. It's not something I put too much thought into. I don't really have that issue. I think fighters should fight, man. So I mean, what I can't a weight handicap doesn't really mean anything to me. I'm still gonna come to kill you. So I don't know. That's a little biased by me. I know I'm a little bigger. I'm a bigger dude or whatever the case may be. But yeah.
All right. Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens, in the future. I just like to see another weight class thrown into the heavyweights just to kind of break it up a little bit. But that's just my take. Now, as far as camp goes, any new training partners that you're working with to get you ready for Andres, or pretty much the same guys?
I don't. So my opponent is actually. I mean, as far as I'm aware, it's still Omar Salah El Salah. I believe his name is. Not really any new training partners. I got a lot of. He comes out southpaw. He'll switch a lot. I got a lot of southpaw training partners. Surprisingly, there's a lot of southpaws. Southpaws in Texas, man. But got a lot of southpaw training partners. I got some tall, long southpaw training partners. Excellent strikers. So I mean, I'm never really. I don't know if I said it before, but I'm training for the guys at the top. I'm not overlooking him by any means, but I don't think I don't want to say this without I don't want to say this without sounding bad, but he's definitely getting the special attention that he deserves. But he's not. I don't think he's better than what I deal with on a regular basis. If I'm striking against Zach Reese, Raheem Cleveland, they're both southpaws. They're both. You watch them fight. Those guys are killers, and we're in the gym and we're sometimes trying to kill each other just because we like to feel that danger when we're in there. And it's respectful. Those are my brothers, man. I love them to death, and they push me. So yeah, I mean, I'm nothing new, man. Same people around me, same people.
So was this a recent opponent change? Because when I was just on Tapology, it says you're facing Andres. Did that change? Was it a couple weeks ago, or can you kind of enlighten me a little bit more?
Yeah, I'm on my third opponent that I know of. My third opponent that I know
People
of.
don't want to
Yeah.
fight you. That's really what it comes down to.
I hate it, man. I hate the way that's. I hate it, man. I hate it. I'd rather just get an opponent, keep an opponent. It's less pressure on me, man. Now everybody wants to know what the big deal is. But I mean, it doesn't change anything for me. I was gonna go in there to take out whoever. I'm still going for the finish. I don't care who you put in front of me. It's him or it's me. I'm still gonna make it exciting. I'm still gonna fight my fight. So it doesn't really matter, man. Like I'm ready for whoever they could throw at me. It's not an Andre Cisneros as far as I know right now. But maybe that could have changed. Like I said, I don't know. Whoever shows up on weigh-in day and on fight day, that's who I'm gonna get it on with, and I'll be ready for him. It doesn't really matter.
Okay. Good enough. Well, Fury FC 74, February the 5th. It's in Houston, Texas. If you can't be there in person, obviously it'll be on UFC Fight Pass. As far as fighting there in Houston, Texas, with the love that you get, how do you feel making that walk? Is it something that brings you to another level?
I love fighting in Houston, man, because I'm from New York. I'm from Queens, New York. But and I moved down to Houston about a year and a half ago. That's when I started training MMA. I wasn't training MMA. Specifically, I was doing individual, the disciplines and everything like that. But since I've been here, man, I've received nothing but love from this whole community and everybody surrounding this community. They treat me really, really well here. Fury treats me really well. And I just want to fight. I just want to make everybody happy, including myself. I want to make myself proud. I want to do the things I need to do. I feel really confident making the walk. Fury, that place feels like home to me at this point. But I could have been making that walk anywhere. I would have been comfortable. I get nerves. I get anxiety. I do get all of that stuff, leading up to a fight. Because, you're about to go fight in front of a crowd of people. It's not really the fight. It's the crowd of people that gets to me, right? But once I'm in the building and once I'm warmed up, I get crazy tunnel vision. I don't see anything else. I don't see anybody else. The crowd might as well be like the crowd in Mike Tyson Punch Out when they're just going up and down like this. So that's what it might as well be. I don't hear anything but my coaches, the people that I need to hear, and I'm zoned in on my mission, my target. That's it.
Are you going to be disappointed if this fight gets out of the first round?
Nah, man, I'm not. I'm never disappointed. Like I said, I for some reason, like it's weird. I've never. I don't think I've never like right before a fight be like, yeah, I'm gonna knock this guy out. I always know the fight's gonna end, right? For some reason, like leading up to it. I'm preparing for that. I'm preparing to go in there and hurt this guy really bad. But I don't never, it's never like, I need a first round knockout. I need a second round knockout. I need a third round knockout. I'm always pacing myself. I'm always chilling, waiting for my opportunities, taking what I get and creating opportunities. And it just turns out like that. It just turns out like that. I'm not throwing 100% on my punches all the time. I'm just, if it's there, it's there. If it's not there, and I'm just waiting for the right opportunities. 5 minutes is a long time, man. Like so, I think I could possibly make it happen in the first round. It would be pretty dope if I could. I'm definitely gonna finish the fight though. It's either I'm getting finished or he's getting finished, and it ain't gonna be me. It just can't be me. That's not optional in my mind that I'm gonna lose. So yeah, I'm definitely going for the finish. If it's a first round finish, then I hope everybody appreciates that.
I love the attitude. Last question from me, Miles. As far as goals for 2023 go, what is it you're hoping to accomplish? How many fights would you like to get in? I have to imagine the goal is, as you said, I mean, one day to take the throne from Johnny Bones. So where do you hope to be at the end of this year?
um, Man, by the end of the year, I just want to have had fought, as many times as I possibly could have fought in, physically allowing and, without mentally draining myself and physically draining myself and emotionally draining myself. But I would hope that's at least 4 times, 3 to 4 times I could fight this year. 4 times would be cool. Um, if everything goes the way that it went last year, taking very little damage. I obviously want to win all those fights. I want to win them in impressive fashion. I want everybody to know who I am, um, build my following, and if I'm not, if I don't get a call up after 4 or 5 fights, I want to at least be the Fury, be the Fury heavyweight champion for their pro division, and then hold on to that until it's time for me to go wherever I need to go next. But that's my goal, man. My goal is always to be the best and to beat the best. I'm gonna fight who I need to fight, and if I got to work up to that point, then I'm gonna work up to that point. I'm gonna do what I gotta do, pay my dues, and earn my opportunities.
Well, for what it's worth, I think you got a really bright future, my man. From what I've seen so far, I thoroughly expect to see you in the UFC one day, whenever that does come. Again, Miles Banks will be making his pro debut February the 5th at Fury FC 74. Great talking to you again. Before we do sign off, I want to give you the floor. Tell people where they can follow you on social media. If you have anything to plug or anyone to thank, the floor is yours.
Yeah, you could if you want to follow me on social media, my Instagram tag is Banks Marley, that's BANKSMARLEY. Nothing else really, man. Thanks my coaches, always Adam and Jeremy and Adam. They're always pouring into me and pouring into all of us and holding themselves accountable and holding me accountable, holding us all accountable to build a better team. Thanks to all my teammates and everybody that I learn from on a daily basis. That's and thanks to my woman too, because she's working right now, but she's dope. She meal preps for me. She makes sure I'm always eating and stuff like that, because I'll just not eat if I had a long day. I ain't coming home to cook. So I mean, I appreciate her and everything that she does for me, and all her sticking by my side and being my partner through this. That's it, man.